is our transition game, all right? We're not a number break. We call it beating up the X's. And I'm going to go over that as a whole real quick for you, and then I'm going to break it down and tell you how we get to that piece. So St. Thomas, I'm sure they've been introduced, Sweet 16 this year. I don't know how tired they are. We're certainly going to find out pretty quickly. But I'm going to give you kind of whole right now of our transition offense that we utilize, all right? Can I get 5 guys up? 5 guys up? All right, so let's say we're attacking in this direction here. Let's get a ball. All right, now, let's say we miss shot. We'll come down here, miss shot. Now, on a miss shot, we have what's called bust out guys, all right? Our point guard's a natural bust out guy. It means if you get the defensive rebound, you can bust out. The rest of the bust out guys are determined through the course of the season on their assist to turnover ratio. If you have a positive assist to turnover ratio and you're someone that can handle the ball in transition and we have faith in your ability to do it, you become a bust out guy. Now, a lot like the shot license, guys are dying to be bust out guys, right? I want to get the rebound, I want to start the break. Well, we all know the fastest break is the one where you get your own rebound and you can start it. So the more bust out guys we have, the better off our break is. But I do cut it off at the positive assist to turnover ratio. All right, so right now on our team, minus the point guards, I think we have 3 other bust-out guys. All right, so let's do this. Let's just throw it off the glass. Let's say you get the rebound. So let's say he's not a bust-out guy. All right, freeze it. So at this point, our point guard's got to get in position to get the outlet. Naturally, we want to get to the sideline. The deepest outlet that you can get is the best part of your break, right? We want to get to the sideline, identify the defense. Now, we love to loop guys, especially on made shots. But we have a determining factor on whether we catch the ball at the sideline or if we loop. Who's my point guard? What's your name? Kevin. Come on. So what is it again? Kevin. Kevin's going to outlet here. Naturally, the farther up the court, the better. So if we can get an outlet up to half court, we want to certainly do that. All right? If we can't, ball's here. If they come up and jam you, like Miami of Ohio does, Purdue does, different teams like that, if you get jammed, we're going to loop. We're going to loop. We want to loop above the free throw line. We want to catch the ball on the run. All our outlets want to be caught up the court with momentum up the court. As far up the court as possible, as much momentum up the court as possible. The last thing we want to do is stun our momentum and come back and get the basketball, which we'll do because we live in possession over position. So our possession is the most important thing. Our position is second. All right? So let's say we get an outlet here. Now, beating up the X's. All right? Made or missed shot, we're sprinting. We don't have a number break. We don't do 2, 3, 4, 5. The only thing we do is we have a constant rim runner. So I do want a rim runner. So I studied the Boston Celtics this summer. And I'm going to get the stat wrong, but I read a thing where Coach Steven mentioned, he broke down their transition break, and I'm going to completely screw this up. But they threw it to the rim run guy such a low percentage that they felt as though it was best to just go 5 wide. Okay? So I'm thinking, well, nobody's smarter than that guy, right? So we started with beating up the X's and going 5 wide. What do you think our guys did when we said to go 5 wide? They jogged, right? I mean, they just jogged to their X's, and next thing you know, my center's standing out 30 feet from the rim. I'm getting no penetration. The ball's not getting a piece of the paint. So I thought, you know what? We're going to beat up the X's, but we're going to do it with the concept of getting the guy to the rim, which has really helped us. So that's the one concept that we have that's guaranteed in terms of number break. We're going to have the non-big that gets the ball. Let's say the 4 doesn't get it, the 5 gets the rebound, the 4 is going to sprint his head to the rim. If the bust-out guy gets the rebound, it's the first big down goes head of the rim. All right, so who's my other big? You want to run? So you run head on the rim. All right? Now, let's talk about this first. As he's sprinting head of the rim, we want to get him out as quickly as possible for penetration purposes. Now, if he's a shooting 4, like most of us have, a small ball 4, I'm going to run him in, and without even posting, I'm going to veer him out. I'm going to run him in, I'm going to veer him out. Now, we don't have these other X's down, but the other X's we would have would be in our called line-up positions, which the NBA guys call dunkers, all right? 2 or 3 foot off the block. In college, we now have a women's hash mark here. It's in the women's hash mark area, all right? I put X's on each side. So if that's a traditional big, we're going to run head to the rim, quick post up, and get out as quickly as possible to what we call the line-up/dunker position, all right? Now, that leaves 4 X's available, all right? Our corner X's and our top X's, our wing X's. We run as fast as we can to those X's. If an X is open in front of you, you sprint to it. I don't care if you're a point guard or a 3-man, you sprint to the open X. So let's say you're running. So you're this side of the floor, you're going to sprint as hard as you can and get to that X right there. freezing. Where are you going to push the ball to probably? What X? All right? You're sprinting to which X? Sprinting. All right? So now our trailing 5 is on a perimeter X here. Okay? We're beating up the X's with a tremendous spacing, and the value that we found in it is guys sprint now. All right? Because they want to get up the court. Now, we have one standard I didn't mention offensively. All right? And that is we sprint every single cut. Every single cut we sprint. So if you watch our teams play, we hard cut. In practice, if you don't sprint on a cut or a transition, we blow the whistle when you get on the line. It's complete accountability in sprinting. They turn the ball over, I don't put them on the line. They take a bad shot, I don't put them on the line. All right? They dribble off their foot. They don't call the right play. They don't execute the right offense. But if they don't sprint, we run every single time we don't sprint. All right? I'm not going to make you guys run today because you don't sprint. 6:30 in the evening. So this is the simple concept of beating up the X's. All right? Now, I mentioned if you have a shooting 4. What we'll do with the shooting 4, instead of putting him in this lineup, we'll bring him here, and we'll eventually bring him out to the corner X, get the ball reversed, space up, and we'll be in a 5-out situation after first rim running, and then we'll flow into our offense, which I'll show you briefly at the end. Okay? So that's on a missed shot. Let's do a made shot now. Let's do a bust out.